Stop animation is an animation technique to give the illusion of movement to an inanimate object. The first recorded example of stop animation is The Humpty Dumpty Circus by Albert E. Smith and J. Stuart Blackton, which was released in 1898. Unfortunately, the film has been considered lost and only information and images can be found. As The Humpty Dumpty Circus has been considered lost, the following short animation directed by Edwin S. Porter was released in 1902 by Thomas A. Edison. This animation is a combination of object manipulation and stop-action photography. As you will see from the short clip, the camera stops, making the actors appear to freeze. Therefore, when the movie is played, it looks like the baker is making all the faces out of dough. Georges Méliès, born 1861 to 1938, most famous for producing Le Voyage dans la Lune, used stop animation in order to produce a moving title card letter for one of his short films. After this, he never used the process again. Stop animation consists of several different categories. Object animation is considered the oldest form. Object animation is the movement of objects such as toy dolls which are not fully movable. The next is direct manipulation animation. This is a type of graphic animation in which the image is altered either by erasing or adding lines to an image. Showing on screen is an example of direct manipulation in play. This animation was made by J. Stuart Blackton and shows one of the earliest examples of this type of work. The animation was put on by the Edison Company in 1906. After this process developed, it led into cell animation, clay animation, pixelation, puppet animation, and time-lapse. In 1933, King Kong was released to the big screen by Wallace O'Brien. This movie was based on both stop animation and puppet animation to successfully create the character Kong. Initially, Wallace O'Brien used clay for his short films. However, soon after, he began to create wire armature skeletons and placing rubber and fur over them. Because of this, he was able to create what is regarded as the iconic stop-motion shot of Kong on the Empire State Building.
Here come the planes! Let them get in!
Because of O'Brien's work, his young assistant at the time, Ray Harryhausen, followed in his footsteps. He liked the sequence created by O'Brien and wanted to create more which incorporated both live action with model and puppet animation. One of the best examples of Ray Harryhausen's work incorporating these techniques is Jason and the Argonaut skeleton fight. Both O'Brien's work and Harryhausen's has inspired modern filmmakers such as Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Peter Jackson, who in fact made a remake of Kong, Tim Burton, and many more. In 1993, the movie The Secret Adventures of Tom Thumb shows great use of this technique. Pixelation is when the live actors are used as a frame-by-frame subject in a film by repeatedly posing whilst one or more frames are taken. Claymation was first introduced in 1912 in the movie Modeling Extraordinary, which was highly acclaimed for. Unfortunately, I was unable to find any videos or images on this animation. In 1978, filmmaker Will Vinton, most famous for making The Adventures of Mark Twain, released in 1985, copyrighted the term to refer for his films. During the 60s and 70s, clay animator Elliot Noyes Jr. refined the technique of freeform clay animation for his Oscar-nominated 1965 film Clay of the Origin of Species. Elliot Noyes also used stop-motion to animate sand laying on glass for his musical animation Sandman in 1975. In 1970, the famous character of Kong was released for a Volkswagen commercial. This commercial is legendary amongst many model animation enthusiasts.
For a big car as good as a Volkswagen, maybe you should look into our big car, the Volkswagen 411. It has some things no Volkswagen ever had, like 4 big doors and lots of room and luxury for the whole family. It has some advanced things most cars don't have, like electronic fuel injection, an automatic preheating system, and a big trunk up front. But you don't have to be a genius to drive the 411 because it comes with an automatic transmission, also as standard equipment. So now, there's a Volkswagen big enough for just about everyone. The Volkswagen 411 4-door sedan.
A stop-motion film by Tove Jansson, The Moomins, created in 1979, was a European production made in different countries like Poland and Austria.
Here they are for one and all, the Moomins are about to call, come on and sit down.
Industrial Light and Magic often use stop-motion model animation in films like the Star Wars trilogy. They can be seen in the chess sequence, the AT-AT walkers, and Imperial machines. Mike Jittlov produced impressive multi-technique stop-motion animation in 1979 for a Disney special, promoting their release of The Black Hole. Later on he released a short film titled The Wizard of Speed and Time. After his production, he demonstrated all the animation techniques used as well as how he produced them. 1993 saw the creation of Wallace and Gromit by Nick Park of Aardman Animation. The characters are made from metal armatures and molded plasticine modeling clay. The animation is filmed in the traditional method of stop animation. James and the Giant Peach, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Coraline are brilliant examples of the stop-motion technique. The films were all directed by Henry Selick. Overall, stop-motion techniques have grown from the 19th century to the 21st century. Some of this can be down to the evolution of technology, and certainly today, you can see the difference between the quality of stop-motion productions.